Alright, first official video now that I'm doing this internet marketing thing. So I guess this will be the beginning of me getting over my first obstacles. Basically, finding the leads, taking the time to pre-qualify, and then setting up the appointment, calling through all the leads, planning the strategy to basically find their interest, find out what it is that's going to be the real. What is it exactly that they're definitely interested in? Is it the social media marketing? Is it the content? Is it branding? Is it the website design? Finding the biggest trigger, and you got to recognize that only in person. Over the phone, you don't want to sell them. You got to get in their face, and you have to sell yourself, your personality, your enthusiasm. That's what's going to happen. I messed up on a few interviews already, and I've already learned, so you have to value the learning experience itself as well. So if you're not out there taking massive action, getting out there and putting yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, you're not going to grow, you're not going to become a natural, and you're just not going to become fast acting, fast reacting to everything they say, their concerns, their doubts, their hesitancy. You have to be able to cancel that out with how confident you are in your product, your delivery, and basically the confidence in the results you'll be able to get them. So another thing is, don't overcomplicate the delivery is what I'm realizing. So yeah, it might sound really cool, you might sound educated, you might sound like you know a lot of things that they may not, but if you overcomplicate the delivery, talking about the funnel in too much detail or the actual processes that you're going to do to get them business, if you overcomplicate that, you might lose them in translation. So the best way to do it is to simplify it. Find out their level of education when it comes to internet marketing. Okay, do they understand internet marketing and just don't have the time to do it? Or do they kind of find themselves in the middle of confusion whenever they even entertain the idea of marketing their business online? So you have to find out who the person is, find out their need, find out how you're going to reel them in and gauge them. You have to do that. So definitely I recommend, meeting in person. I don't see how you can sell someone over the phone. Not without referrals, not without an amazing website, with all kinds of, testimonials and examples of businesses that you've started and grown successfully, scaled and such. So you definitely have to sell yourself. You have to sell your personality. You have to sell your enthusiasm, and they'll buy into you before they buy into the product. For example, I thought my delivery was perfect with this one lady, and you gotta understand, here's another thing. I went to this juice bar, okay? It's in Florida. They're really holistic, and I walked in there, and I kind of got a bad impression from the lady because we set an appointment, and she's like doing some kind of relaxation technique on her, and one of her employees or something. I think they were sick. So I was just offset by that. I was like, really? Like, we had an appointment, and you're sitting there massaging her leg while I'm just waiting here. So I don't know. I kind of got over myself there. I sat down 15 minutes. I bought a smoothie to show some respect towards the business while I got my papers out, the proposal, and started going over my pitch. And, 20 minutes later, she sits down with me. Then she has something else to do. And here I am sitting again, like, how long am I going to sit here for this? So continue to wait, starting to get more irritated. And, finally, she comes back up again, and she sits down for a minute. She gets up again after that. So I keep getting interrupted with my presentation, so I get irritated. So I end up leaving, in the car. I start to, listen to some mentors I'm listening to that usually get me out of a rut when I know I shouldn't be acting so negative. It's, it's just part of the business, but, I felt real disrespected, so I had to breathe. I had to, calm down a little bit. And I would suggest you do something I just did yesterday. I bought a journal, and I started writing in the journal, and it really helps. Just kind of write down your emotions. By the time you write it down, you look at it from a different angle, and you can kind of analyze yourself, and it puts you outside of yourself, and you have a little bit more power in, manipulating the way your emotions affect you, which is key in any business and maintaining in the long run, for success, of course, because it's a longevity thing, all that is. So, long story short, I ended up going back, and I sat down again, and the same exact thing happened. So I eventually, got a little bit irritated again, even though I just got writing it all down. It's a little harder than it is, said than done. So I get up and I write my number down on the proposal and I say, just give me a call. But I translated, she was really empathetic, or I was just really obvious. But I translated my irritation, and I could see it on her face. She was like, yeah. I called back the next day. And she's just like, listen, I didn't like your attitude, this, that, and the third. Puts me on hold for 20 minutes. Gets back on the phone and then says, I don't want to do business with you. And, it really got me down. So I guess the reason I'm even recording this video, is number one, just to document. So I guess I can look back at this and, hopefully have I will have a lot of success, but, I think everyone should document themselves at certain points in their life so they can look back and gauge the progress they've made. It's an amazing thing to see that. It brings a lot of euphoria, especially if you made progress. So, but yeah, the main point is just to make this, just to kind of document where I am right now, where I really feel like I'm getting my foot into it, and it's the make or break stage, and so anyone else, if anyone else gets a hold of this video, they can maybe learn something from, just the pain and irritation I've already gone through with, taking some of these people a little too seriously. So, lighten up. If you're anything like me, just lighten up. Go out there, go get it. Disregard all the negative thoughts, negative emotions. Just do your thing. And if you have to manipulate, your mind, which most people do, unless you're naturally just, in complete control of your emotions and, use all of your passions to, make progress. Or if you're like me, who, always had a little bit of issues with anger, or maybe you're a little bit irritable sometimes with some people. I need to learn how to control that. And if you can step outside of yourself, like I said, maybe write a journal, shoot some videos, talk about your situation, talk to yourself, maybe usually no one's around, or maybe the right person isn't around to hear you, that may be able to put you at ease, but you have to make that person yourself. So write, talk to yourself, look in the mirror, whatever it is, it's just you. It's you and you. You're doing this for you. Don't let yourself sabotage yourself. So you have to control your emotions. And just make progress, move forward, be strong. It's a tough journey, but it's worth it.